Okay, happy Monday. As I was saying, thank you guys for joining us. I'm going to quickly just tell you guys how this works, what my intentions with this are, and then we're going to get right to it. So how many people go throughout their week and not batching content right, and then like the day comes and maybe you have in your planner you want to talk about, I don't know, the opportunity that day, but you don't know what about the opportunity you want to talk about. You don't have anything like written out or planned. And so the day comes and you just have no idea and it gets away from you. And then before you know it, it's 10 o'clock at night and you realize like, shit, I didn't get a post up today. That has happened to me so many times. So my intention with this is I have 7 topics all set, ready to go for you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the topic, and in this hour, we are going to batch 7 days worth of content together. That way throughout the week, there's never a question of what am I going to talk about today? Because if you are intentional with this hour, you know that in this hour, you've got to get your creative juices flowing. You've got to sit down and type things out. Even if I give you guys a topic and you don't finish a caption, that's okay. At least you have a rough draft. And then when we get off of here, you can go back in, clean it up, do what you need to do. Also, look at these when we're done. When you get on the planning Zoom, look at them and figure out which ones can you turn into, like, can you put a reel with? Right? Like if it's a caption about a product, like take that and maybe you can plan to create a reel to go with it. Which ones can you take and turn into like opportunity stories, product stories, right? Captions and stories and captions and reels, they go hand in hand. So these do not need to just be posts. They can be reels, they can be IGTVs, they can be live videos, XYZ, whatever you want them to be. So keep that in mind. Keep in mind also, they don't all need to be like paragraphs. Okay. I said this last week, not everybody is going to take the time to read a very, even if it's like a bomb post, just not everybody has I don't even know what word I'm looking for, but not everybody's going to read them. So kind of mix up, make some long, make some shorter, make some of them zingers. Give a good variety. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. I'm going to do things a little different this week. Last week, I feel like I went very in depth with what we were going to post about. And this week, I want to kind of switch it up a little bit. I have more of like short words or short phrases and words that I'm going to throw at you guys. And I just want you guys to type on whatever comes to mind. Okay. You're going to notice that these captions, these topics, they are meant to, I go by the inspire, educate, entertain rule, because for a long time I got caught up, you know, the 80-20 rule. I was backwards. I was doing 80% my business, 20% me. So these are topics that allow for you to kind of revert back to the 80-20, 80% you, 20% your business. So let's get into this. Hold on, let me pull up. And I will always drop the topic. I'll paste it into the chat so you guys have it there. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to comment it in the chat. Okay, so the first topic is, how do you want people to remember you? That's what we're going to type on. And the way that these work too is I set a timer for 6 minutes. So it's the same thing as work with me, IPAs. We set timers. So I'm going to set a timer for 6 minutes per caption. Try to get it done start to finish in those 6 minutes. And then once the timer goes off, we move on. So I'm going to set a timer. How do you want people to remember you? Really quick, the way that I organize these is I have folders for each month. So every month I create a new folder within my notes section. And then each week I create a new folder within that folder and I title it batch. And then like I'll put so today's batch 2-6. And then what I do is I put all of my captions in there so that throughout the week, all I need to do is go right into that folder, pull the one that I'm using, copy, paste, I'm good to go. So that is how I organize mine. Yeah, so what we're doing with these topics is, so I'm giving you guys a topic, and yes, you are creating a post, a caption, if you will, based off of what it is. So if you guys want, for some of you who already have typed out some things, if you want to drop them in the chat, just as like examples for people who are struggling, that would be awesome. So I haven't finished mine. This one's kind of gonna be not a zinger, but it's gonna be a shorter one for me. Um, so far I want to be remembered as the woman who lived life on her terms, as a woman who didn't shrink herself to make others comfortable. Again, that's not done, but you can kind of get the direction that I'm going with that. So some people are dropping ones. Let's see. I want to be remembered as the girl who beat every odd against her. Oh, hold on. There's the timer. Let's see. I want people to remember me as someone who is inspirational, who, oh boy, hold on, comments are coming in, who helps people grow and get out of their comfort zones. And so if you read the chat, there are some in there, and you can see that they're all over the place. These can be, there's no right or wrong direction to go with these. That's why I wanted to switch it up this week and just kind of let you guys go wherever, whatever came to mind, that's what I want you guys to share. So yeah, check the chat out. I know that this is difficult. It can be difficult. The more that we do this, the more we're going to train our brains. Like you're going to find that when we sit down to do this, you're going to know this is when I need to be creative. So it's going to get easier and easier. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, so we did that. All right, so the next thing that I want you to do is I want you to write out speak some affirmations into yourself through a post. So just like on Lindsay's Monday night Zooms, what are some affirmations that you speak to yourself? And let's type on that. I'm going to give you guys an example of what I have for this one, okay? So I've got, dear self, you are brave for taking chances. You are an incredibly hard worker. I know that some days you feel like you fall short, but your kids love you endlessly regardless. You're an amazing leader. Your work has an impact bigger than you will ever realize. You have come so far. I am so proud of your perseverance. You are limitless, babe. That's what I've got for that one. We've got about 2 minutes left here. All right. Moving on to the next one, I want you guys to think, like, we're going to educate on this one. So I want you to think your branding fives. So your niche. So not your business, not your products, your personal brand. Cat mom, dog mom, military wife, mom, maybe you're like a home, maybe you homeschool your kids, maybe you're like potty training your kids right now, something around your branding five. And I want you to share a tip. Okay. So like for me, I think the direction I'm going to go is my husband's deployed right now. So I think I'm going to share some sort of tip of how I keep myself busy during this time, right? So what is something in your branding fives that you can educate somebody on? I mean, if you think about it, Haley, captions kind of are like, at least to me, my captions are kind of like journaling to me. It's speaking to an audience. I feel like when you take the journaling approach, I guess, if you will, it's more personable and it hits people on a different level, if that makes sense. So sorry guys, I'm the only one here with usually my daughter's here to entertain my son while I do these, and she had a sleepover last night. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah, exactly, Holly. I feel like when we take the more like journaling approach, we sound less like a robot and more like a person, which is, like I said, how you hit people on a different like level. Okay, moving on. I want you guys to finish the sentence. In a world full of, what comes to mind? And any of these, you guys, you can take in a like personal branding direction. You can go in a direction of like the business and the opportunity, like maybe in a world full of people looking for you know, a second job instead of like monetizing their social media, right? You can go that direction. In a world full of people dieting in all of the wrong ways, you know, premium grade nutrition, you can go that direction. There's so many different directions that you can go. Look at what your goals are for the week. Where do you need to like hit on? Like for me, I know that if I'm not having conversations with people, if my inbox is dry, I'm not creating conversations, I'm not building relationships. So like I need to show people a little bit of myself and then like my products too. So I know that's really where I need to hit on. So in a world full of. So just as an example, someone put in the chat, in a world full of people who can't get through their day without overloading on coffees, sodas, and Red Bulls. And then she's going to go on to talk about the premium grade nutrition and how with this, you don't need that stuff. My approach is going to be more towards the opportunity. So I'm talking about in a world full of people who are staying at a 9-to-5 job that they absolutely hate. Then I'm going to go on to talk about like why they should consider network marketing and why I love what I do. So those are just some examples. All right, our timer is about to go off, but I wanted to add two. If you are somebody who is struggling to come up with anything during these, even if all you can get, like if you're just completely drawing a blank and you don't know how to start, even if you can just bullet point some different ideas that pop into your mind, even if, so you might have ideas, but you can't form the words, bullet point some stuff out. That way you can circle back afterwards when maybe there's less pressure to do it right now and come up with something. At least you have like some ideas put down on paper in front of you, right? Okay, so the next one that we're gonna do, we've got about 3 of them left. So this one, I want you guys to think about a few of the top hesitations that you hear from people. So take this products, opportunity, both, however you wanna take it, but we're gonna do this around the business and the products. What are some hesitations? Like maybe just as some examples, I know people say that it's too expensive, or they don't have a large following, or they don't have the money to start, or I've never done this before, or like I've tried this industry before, I failed miserably. What are some hesitations and excuses, if you will, that you hear often? I want you to list like a couple of them out, like maybe 3 of them out, and then underneath that, rebuttal them. Does that make sense? That's because Ian's, guys, is literally very safe, mother of the year. I'm picking and choosing my battles today, okay? I'm just trying to get through this. So for me, I mean, I could come up with a list of like 20 hesitations. I'm just picking 3. So I'm just taking a few, putting them at the top, like maybe bullet pointing them out, and then underneath just rebuttaling each one by one. Yes, it would make for a really good reel, a really good live. See, I love that these things are coming to your guys' head as you do this. Now, keep these in mind. Like now, when you get on Christina Tammy's planning Zoom, you know that like, okay, this is a caption that I need to create a reel for. So where can I plug this into my calendar? This is a caption that I want to go live about. What day can I go live? Plug it into my calendar. Turn them into your stories. Yes. See, I love this. Okay. Moving on, we've got two left. The absorption rate is over 90%. I believe someone said it's 96 to 98% in comparison to drugstore vitamins, which are like less than 10%. Okay, so for this next one, we're going to talk about team stats. We're going to come up with something and incorporate team stats. So you can use your own personal, maybe you've been here for, however long and you have your own team stats that you want to use those. So when I say team stats, I mean like team sales, number of promoters, number of thriving customers. I have Lindsay's. So if you're a part of Limitless, I will drop hers into the chat if you want to use like the overall teams. I actually already wrote this one because as I was coming up with these topics, this came to me. So I'm going to share with you guys what I have, and then I'm going to set the timer and we're going to get through this. So these are some more hesitations. So remember, Ashley, I said there's tons. So at the top of this, I have no one would buy from me. I don't have a big following. The market is saturated. I've tried this in the past and failed. Just a few of the excuses I fed myself, but excuses do not build bank accounts and they certainly do not build dreams. So I went for it anyway. I started with myself and got to work. Flash forward 2 years later, and then I have my stats, like my personal, and then I come from a small town, a small following, and the same excuses as you. The difference is I started. When will you? So that's what I have for this one. And like I said, I'm going to drop Lindsay's Limitless stats in there. If you're a part of somebody else's downline, maybe ask them for their stats if you want to use those. Mic drop. Thanks. Okay, we've got 20 seconds left and we're actually making good timing. So we will be off before the planning Zoom. So our last one is another one where I want you to finish the sentence, but okay, I'm going to give you a few different examples of how you can go with this. Literally, we're going to finish the sentence to the word thank you. Okay, this can be a zinger. So maybe you want to post like a before and after, and you can say, thank you, premium grade nutrition. Maybe you are an auto bonus earner and you want to post a photo of you with like your car. Thank you, auto bonus or whatever, right? Do you guys want me to read to you what I have? Because I just worked on this one while you guys were doing that. Okay, so let me tell you how I did mine and then we're gonna finish this up. So I said, thank you to everyone who ever doubted me. You pushed me to succeed. Thank you to every person and opportunity I was rejected from. You made me realize my worth. Thank you to every situation that felt hard and heavy. You gave me strength to persevere. Thank you to every failure. You taught me valuable lessons and helped me to grow. Thank you to the people in my corner. You are the reason I keep showing up and striving for better. Thank you, Lavelle, for giving me the life I used to only dream of having. So that's the direction I went with this one. But like I said, you guys, there's so many different directions you can go with this. Maybe you want to make a post like thanking your customers for like getting, supporting you and for where you are today. Maybe you want to thank your team. Maybe you want to thank yourself for like taking a chance on yourself and doing this, right? So many different directions you can go. So this is our last topic. I am done. So if you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat and I'll just type and answer. That way I'm not distracting anybody. All right, so timer's almost up, but now that we have, like I said, even if you guys haven't finished, you at least have an idea of what you are talking about throughout the week. So now when we get on to Christina Tammy's Zoom in like 5 minutes, plug in which topics you want to talk about on which days, and then look at these topics. And I don't know, maybe if you're talking about like the 3 steps on one day, you know that like, okay, I need to take a content photo that is going to go along with talking about my 3 steps. I need to take a content photo that is going to go along with this. I need to record a reel that is going to go along with this. Does that make sense? I feel like when you have your captions already, you already know like what you want to talk about, right? Not just the product, but like you know exactly what the product you're going to talk about. It's easier to plan your weeks and to plan your content as far as like photos and reels and lives and everything like that goes. So I hope that you guys found this helpful. Like I said, this is very new to everybody, including myself. So if you felt like this was difficult today, hang in there. It's going to get easier as the weeks go on and as we learn more about like what works and what doesn't work. Like I said, I'm learning this. This is new to me too. So as we go through, I'll get a little bit better at leading you guys through this. But I hope that you found this helpful. Yes, I will drop the topics into the Telegram chat, and then I'll probably put them in the comments section once I post the recording to Limitless page. That way anybody, yeah, if you guys need to go back or anybody who missed it, you can share it with your teams. But yeah, I hope that you guys found this helpful, and I hope to see you guys here every Sunday because it really does make a world of a difference doing this. And like I said, it will get easier. I promise you guys. So I think that's all that I had. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you guys all in a few minutes on Christina Tammy's Zoom. Have a good Sunday, you guys.